Next will be interactive on City FM 92.9 Enugu. Do not forget that I still have my guest in the studio, and my guest will be helping me with the interactive this morning. My guest remains Mr. Raphael Ikechukwu Asogwa, President General, Owerre Autonomous Community, Igbo Etiti local government area here in Enugu State. And today we will be discussing community participation in rural development as we focus on rural development matters. We shall also highlight the challenges and prospects of citizens' involvement in building their community. And truly, we all come from one or the other community, so we must be part of this discussion. And you can call in when it's time. Just you give my guest 10 minutes to establish the discussion, and then your calls can start coming in. And when you want to call in, dial 0915 0696 0915 069 6363. Just give us a few minutes to take commercial messages and let my guests relax from the papers, then we get to talk. Alright, that's a music that's calling on all of us to wake up, join hands and develop our community and everywhere we find ourselves. Music by Michelle Ikechukwu. Yes, she is the artist in that song. And right away, we'll get to the interactive this morning on City FM 92.9 Enugu. And I did tell you that I have a guest in the studio who is President of Owerre Autonomous Community, Igbo Etiti local government area in Enugu State. He is by the name Mr. Raphael Ikechukwu Asogwa. Welcome. Thanks for staying with us this morning again, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
All right. His voice was also that you heard on the papers. So he's here with us. And listener, I did tell you that you can be part of it by dialing 0915 069 6363. That's the line to call in, but that will be in the next 8 minutes. If you can call into the program, ask him questions, which he will answer. Quickly, let's get to find out from him why. But before then, let me remind you of our topic, which is discussing community participation in rural development as we focus on rural development matters. That's the topic this morning, and we shall also highlight the challenges and prospects of citizens' involvement in building their communities. Okay, let's find out from you, sir. Why is community participation crucial for rural development?
Yeah, thank you very much. Community participation is crucial in rural development. You know, the saying goes this way: charity starts from home. So you can't give what you don't have. You know, you can't give what you don't have. So if you don't actually start in your place, look inward, try to see the challenges of your people, look at the best possible way to tackle them, to give them at least sense of belonging, because they're humans. And you know, in this our area, the challenges that is facing the people in rural area. So it is important that we look inward and see those things, because it is a very big challenge that we should maximally put hands together to see that we solve them. And we must start from our various communities. So these challenges are enormous. You know, there are too many. But we will start from number one, insecurity.
Okay.
Insecurity. You know, because in our rural areas today, you understand that a lot of things are going on. The younger generation, which we possibly say they are the future of this nation, the youths, you understand what is going on. There is nothing like morality again. There is nothing like morality. these young people, as you know, we call them the Gen Z generation. They're capable of doing anything just to make sure they belong. And these are one of the challenges we are facing.
Okay, we'll get to talk about the challenges, but let's get to understand, because you're talking about community participation in rural development. Yeah. Community participation in rural development. Else, I would have asked you about, if I'm from Abia and I'm in Enugu, I belong to the community in Enugu. Yes. Also belong to the community in Abia. But here we're looking at rural development. Now, the Enugu metropolitan is not rural. Someone who resides in Independence Layout, for example, or comes from Igbo Etiti. Igbo Etiti is the rural place, but he resides in Igbo Etiti. Now, you are asking his participation to develop that rural place, which is Igbo Etiti. How do you expect him to go about search?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
He is staying in Enugu, but he is from Igbo Etiti. He has a village. He has a community. Now, why we're asking him to come down to participate in that rural development is that he knows how his place is before leaving his place. Today he's in Enugu, and he's seen what is happening in Enugu. So what we're asking is, why not bring those things that is making people in Enugu look different down to your place? That is actually where we're talking about participation. So that he too will be part of the building in that rural area where he's coming from. So when
you talked about the generation who believe to a large extent that they can have their way. But let's start off with insecurity. How is insecurity, hampering development of rural communities?
Yeah. Insecurity is the same everywhere. Not minding where you are. As a matter of fact, if you are in your community and there is no security in your community, the big man in your community might not have the zeal to come back, even to build a house there. Because I've seen a case where some hoodlums will go to a place where somebody has built. They will vandalize it, cut away with all his properties, take away the roof, take away everything. And you agree with me that was the essence of the government introducing neighborhood watch, because they knew in the village a lot of things happens. And like in my place, the distance from the local government where the police station is to my community is a little bit far.
When you say a little bit far, place it in distance. How many minutes walk? Can you take a walk to the police station?
No, you can't.
Okay, because it's one police division in a local government.
Yeah, and that is what we have in my place.
No, I think that's what's obtainable across Nigeria. One police division in a local government, mainly because the police is understaffed. But still talking on insecurity as one of the challenges bedeviling rural development. They say that a community knows its people. It is believed that in your community, you know your citizens. When you see somebody that is a stranger, you may not ask the person, where do you stay, what are you doing here, where are you coming from? But you know this person is a stranger. Now, when things like what you mentioned, someone has a structure that is coming up in the village, but he is not in the village, and then it's vandalized, some things are carted away, the community is expected to know the boys behind it, because there are boys. When you have such characters in a community, you should know people who have such characters. So how do you, as a community, tackle search in communities? Not necessarily your community, but across board.
Yeah. I think I should be using my community as an example.
Okay.
When such, just like you rightly said, I like a community leader that I am, I knows everybody in my community. I know who is who. I know the ones who are good, I know the ones who are bad. So as a community leader, like in my place, we have this neighborhood watch, who has been so useful to my people that in cases of burglary, rape, vandalism, and all rest of like that, I will tell the people to report to them. The person will be arrested, taken down to there, because they have an office in my place.
Okay, interesting.
They have an office in my place. So the person will be arrested, taken down to the office. He will be interrogated. Sometimes we have a lot of allegations. He's alleged until proven otherwise.
Sure.
So when he gets to that place, they will be able to interrogate them. They will see the level of involvement in the so-called crime, you understand? If they are free, they will ask them to go home. But if they are not, they will now, personally, because they will now take them to the station.
To the police station.
To the police station.
So your neighborhood watch group is foot soldiers for the Nigerian police force?
Of course, yes. They are.
So they help in ensuring security and orderliness
in the community. Yes.
Interesting. So let's get to talk about town unions that exist in the cities, outside where their communities. People who are from communities, it could be Etiti, it could be Weze, it could be in Kano, it could be Ngo. They are in Lagos, they are in Abuja, they are elsewhere outside Nigeria or within Nigeria, and they form town unions, organize their people, get to know the welfare of their people, how their people are doing, and tend to contribute back to the community. How can they galvanize themselves and ensure the development of rural areas?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like in Enugu here, we have my town union association here. We call them Oho, the Welfare Association.
Oho, the Welfare
Association. Yeah. This Oho, the Welfare Association is, I think, is the mother deck of the communities who are now autonomous. Okay. Like Achara and my place Owerre. Okay. They all came out from Oho. And in Enugu, what we have here is the Welfare Association. Now, they help a lot in developing the community. Like, they have a lot of responsibilities with their children in my community. Like, there are families, they don't have anybody to sponsor their wards to school. And these kids are very intelligent. Nobody is taking care of them actually. So it is still the duty of the town union that is not in the community. They have all those things. They have these kids that are placed on scholarship. They have people who are in the hospital, but they were not able to pay for their bills. So they take responsibility for all these things I'm telling you now. That is one thing they're doing. Now, if a particular place in my community does not have road, the same people at the same Oho, the Welfare Association, as the case may be, they contribute a lot just to see that they bring in caterpillar or bulldozer, at least to give to create access road so that people could pass. So these are the things the town union, if you go to every other place like in Anambra, where you see that there are town union who are based abroad, they are so rich, they do a lot of community work.
Okay, interesting. So town unions do a lot of community work, and town unions are also encouraged to do more. That is to say that you'll be asking anyone, wherever you're from, wherever you're staying at the moment, to locate your town union, get to join them and contribute your quota to rural development.
Yes.
You believe with that our rural communities can be properly developed?
Of course, yes.
Interesting. I'd like to ask you, would you say that not necessarily your own town union, yes, you're President General of Owerre Autonomous Community, Etiti local government area, and of course you would like to praise and possibly assess your town union, but would you say in general terms that town unions across Nigeria are doing as much as expected of them by the people?
Well, this is a very big question, my dear. But I think, in all fairness, yeah, I would say they are doing good job. Like in Anambra, the town union in Enugu is not all that as strong as the one we have in Anambra.
This Anambra you're citing, is it as a result of heavyweights from Anambra State?
Not actually the heavyweight, but their participation in trying to carry everybody along.
So it's kind of a status quo that these people have come to realize that this is a place we have to belong. This is an avenue for us to channel our resources to our community.
Yes, of course. If you look at places like Obosi, the things they do there in Obosi, if a man gets to 80 years, how he's celebrated, things that they pay them salaries. These are the work of town unions. So that's what I keep saying Anambra, because I know I live in Anambra.
It's interesting to hear that a community has much respect for the elderly, that you have to place someone who's gotten to the age of 80 on salary.
Yeah, of course. In Anambra, once you get to 80 years, you are celebrated. In fact, I think in Obosi that is the highest celebration, because everybody in the whole world will come home.
I'm very sure that our colleague in the day too, they will be proud to be an Obosi man, because I'm sure that's where he's from. I've been to his place. But interestingly, get to tell us more of what you expect from town unions across Enugu State.
Yeah, what I think, what I think, and what I've been telling my state coordinator is that we should be resourceful, in all ramification. We should be proactive, because if you are chosen as a leader, in your community, your community has a lot of they have a lot of belief, and they know that you are going to take them away from you will bring them away from what is their problem into a better and a realistic place. So I charge all my friends who are PGs in their various communities to always look inward and be very proactive, and not to wait for government. The problem we have here is what somebody could do. He is waiting for the government and telling you the government is not doing anything. But take for instance, you are staying in an environment where government has provided drainage for you there. There is drainage, well designed. Now, people who are living around there, they are stocking all manner of things in that drainage. They block it. They still wait for government to come and clear the drainage for them.
We might have a bad culture of littering the drainage with waste, but it is the responsibility of government to clear the drainage. No, I wouldn't take it away from them. That is not to say that we cannot do it on our own.
It is the responsibility of everybody, even you who is staying in the street. On a Saturday, on a clean-up day, you could come out, assemble people, and make sure that the drainage is free.
Okay, interesting.
And these are still the work of community leaders.
Okay, let's talk to citizens from rural communities who are living in urban areas who have not been active in town unions. How do you encourage them to get involved in the town unions, be active, and let Akuru know?
Thank you very much. Just like I don't stay in Enugu here, I stay in Port Harcourt. Okay. But as soon as
you are the PG of Owerre Autonomous
Community. Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Interesting.
When I came down to Enugu, I decided to not going back to Port Harcourt. Okay. But my family is still there. Okay. But I'm in Enugu present for 2 years now. Okay. So the first thing I did was to get involved in my community association, like I told you, Abinisho. So I'm a member of them. Now I encourage, like my friend, I told him, you must come in. You've been in Enugu even before I came down here, so you join us. So it is imperative that wherever you find your people, please try and belong to them, because you cannot expect much from them when you don't know them. You must get close to them. And it is very fine that whenever you go outside, if you see how the other people, like in Abia, you come to Abia, you go to Abriba, you go to places, you see how they develop their place. You too can help to develop your place.
But in Abia, we do not have president generals in communities.
That is interesting.
We do not have president generals.
And
I have youth presidents and all that, because the president general thing is very effective in Enugu and Anambra State.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, in a place like Port Harcourt, where you came from, you might not have Owerre, Etiti, or Ohodu town union, like you mentioned. You might not have. Do you have it in Port Harcourt?
No, we don't have it.
Or you have an association?
We have a Ohodu association in Port Harcourt, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have a very formidable one.
Okay.
Yeah.
For communities that do not have their town unions in the city where they reside, how else can they get involved?
If you don't have like in a place where you stay and your community people are not much, you must look for the people from your local government.
Okay.
You can join them, and through that, you will get access to your people. But the most important thing is make sure you join your people, because it is necessary for you to belong, to be part of your people. Because once you are part of your people, you are going to be very creative in taking home.
Well, you dropped a good line there, but let me give you another opportunity in 30 seconds. Tell the listener what you need them to do for those who are not members of town unions, for those who are not returning little of their words to rural areas. Tell them what they can do to ensure that their rural community that is seen as rural today can become a modern town tomorrow with little effort from them.
Thank you very much. I think my listeners have said a lot about you trying to be involved in developing your place. You see, if you go to Anambra State today, there is no village in Anambra.
Interesting.
The government never did it. It was still their people that did all these things. You can imagine if you go to somewhere like Nogwa, a plate of food is sold 4,500 in a village. If you go to Mushu,
what should the listener do in the next 10 seconds?
They should try to be involved in developing their place.
All right, get involved in developing your place. According to my guest in the studio, Mr. Raphael Ikechukwu Asogwa, President General, Owerre Autonomous Community, Igbo Etiti Local Government Area, Enugu State. Thank you very much, sir, for coming to Queen.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, my producer, Jude Obu. Supervisor has been Joy Obitulata, General Manager, Co-City FM, while Executive Producer is Ikechukwu as Zonal Director, Co-City Radio Nigeria Enugu. My name is Chika Mwabara, and that's Co-City FM Breakfast Show this morning. Join us tomorrow for another edition.